Hello and welcome to another tutorial, and for this one it's going to be the last one of our JavaScript fundamentals. Quite sad, isn't it? But anyway, I'll go through semicolons, so why we use semicolons sometimes. I'll go through switch statement. I'll also go through interactions, so using alert, prompt, and confirm. So let's get right into it. So I have a variable here already. And you've seen me in the past few videos, I don't normally use semicolon. I normally skip straight on to the next line. Let's try and console log A on the same line. I'm already getting an error from my extension, but it's not going to work, is it? If I save it, uncaught syntax error. However, if I do put a semicolon in between it, it works, because this semicolon acts as if this just happened. And we're used to this. But if you just put a semicolon, it's fine. It acts as a line break and everything is fine. You might see people just, put semicolons at the end. It makes absolutely no difference, but it is a good practice, but one that I am not used to because I started using Python first. So that involves no semicolons. So once I found out that you didn't need to use semicolons for this, it was great. But let's get on to alerts and prompt and confirm. So interactions. So far we've only been using console.log to just try and show anything that we want on here. But if we want to show something like an alert or a prompt or a confirm that we've seen on websites that ask us for our data or, I don't know, anything else, you might want to use alert. So let's see what alert does. Hey, it just pops up and comes over here, and then we just click OK. So you can just give someone saying this and this has changed on the website. Yeah, so pretty basic. Let's go on to confirm. So what is this? Actually, let's declare it with a variable. So let a equals confirm, and let's say, did you see this? What this pops up with is cancel and OK. So you've seen this before, and most of us should press OK. But let's say we press OK. That's it, nothing happens. But the reason why I declared it in a variable, okay, weird. But the reason why I declared it in a variable is because let's log A to the console. And let's see what this gives us. So now first it's going to alert. Okay, it returns true. However, if I run this again, so refresh, did you see this? Cancel. False. So it is a boolean, depending on whether we press cancel or OK. So that's something to keep in mind. One last thing, and this also will require a variable, is if we use, actually, which one have we used so far? Yeah, prompt. So let's say, what do you want to eat? First, before we use a variable, let's see what comes up. And it's, you can write anything in here. So it says, what do you want to eat? Let's say I want to eat lasagna. And we press OK. Nothing happens. Then, if we do console.log A, what happens is it waits for us to write down what we want. So let's just write the same thing again. Press OK. What do you think comes up in the console? Lasagna. So that's it for the interaction side. Anyway, so the last thing that we'll use is using switch statements. So It's basically a glorified if-else statement. And if you have an if-else statement that has loads of different possibilities, your best guess is that you should use switch. So switch is essentially what I said. It's a glorified if-else, but it has so many if-elses that you can use, but it's shorter and easier to write. So let me give you an example. Let a equals 4. A switch has a bracket, if I can spell it correctly, and this takes an a. It doesn't take an if a equals 4 then do this, it just takes an a, curly brackets. Then the cases are dependent on a. So if a equals 4, this essentially reads as if if a equals 4. So that's how you should really think about it. You take in n first, then you have a case. So it essentially is like if this is equal to 4. If you think about it like that. Then let's have a colon. Indents automatically if you have BS. So you know you've done it correctly. And based on this value, let's have console.log. This is 4. But obviously it's a longer wait if you're only using 1 or 2. But if you have, let's say, different cases where one is like, oops. Oh well, I indented it. But let's have. Why does it keep indenting automatically? But anyway, let's have 5 or 45. You know, keep it like that. And 46. And you might have even more than this. In this example, yes, you need a switch statement. Or you might need something a bit better if you have so many values, but this is how it works. This is, the syntax. Don't forget your colons. Don't forget the curly bracket. And don't forget the main thing is you have a switch which actually takes a in. Then you have your different values. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. This is the last video in the fundamentals of JavaScript beginner course. We might be going into intermediate JavaScript soon, so working with objects, maybe promises, fetch, APIs. We'll see how it is. Anyway guys, see you in the next video.